And welcome back to the program, folks. My guest finally has made it after having to go through that. You are familiar. If you ride through Marigo coming into Phillipsburg, you will understand how difficult that can be. Mr. Charville, I want to thank you so much for coming in and at least ending the, well, it's not quite ending the year, but we're close to it now. Christmas is right around the corner. Happy holidays to you. And I want to thank you for often making yourself available to touch on certain things because, you are not actually, you're in the council, but you're not in government. So you would have to be considered opposition. But, when the government doesn't do what they're supposed to do, they would not talk about them failing to do what they're supposed to do. So often you need to hear from the opposition who will point out where the failures are, and all of this bring balance to the citizens understanding why things are the way they are. And I want to thank you for making yourself available, for coming in and talking to us. You have some real. I read something in the papers where it says that the president was getting ready to take the opposition to court for something you have said. I think it has to do with the grounding of Air Antilles, which is bad news. How can you make it simple that we could understand and become wiser as to what is happening in the North?
Good afternoon to you, Wendell. Good afternoon or good evening to the listeners.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invitation, as usual. Let me clarify something, though, that yes, I'm not part of the executive section of government. I'm part of the legislative, even though in opposition, I'm part of the legislative government, even though in opposition. For some days now, the president is in the media, whether it's on TV, radio, newspaper, announcing that he's going to take 6 members of the opposition, 6 of us, to court for what he called defamation. Means that we have accused him of certain things, and which we have not. We are still wondering what is he talking about. I'm sure you have the press release. It's about that.
Yes.
A press release was signed by the 6 members of the opposition. It's 7 of us, but it's only 6 of us that signed. And there's a certain area in that press release where we are saying that those that have done wrong, this is what they could be exposed to. Have enumerated the possible sanctions that whoever have done, which I will explain what we have revealed, because it's reality, it's a fact. I'll go into that because he is ignoring what we have revealed and saying that we are accusing him. We have never called his name, mentioned his name, even as like the president. That has never been written or said or mentioned. So we don't understand where he's going with it. Now, what we are saying to him, and it will be said to him tomorrow. Tomorrow, God's willing, will be the last council meeting for the year.
Okay.
And in that meeting, it would be said to him, or asked to him, Mr. President, we find it strange that you are not going at those persons that are suspected to have done wrong, but you're coming at the opposition because we have revealed certain things. You see? And that is why. Is it that you're protecting them? Is it that you're covering up for them? And so what are these things, really? Air Antilles, as we knew it, up to, I think it was August 2023, has been declared bankrupt on the 2nd of August 2023. Okay? The judge in that court, the bankruptcy court, has given to the potential bidders 1 month. So up to September the 1st, 2023, to submit their bids. right? But as a government, government did not want to, but they could not. They had to form a company, but not 100% being 100% shareholder. So they came up with this idea of creating what you call a mixed fund company. So public funds and private funds. In that situation, government in a French setting, government cannot have own less than 50% shares. So the collectivity of St.Maarten owns 60% of the shares, and 40% of the shares are owned by a company which is a mother company of the company that is running the French airport. Okay, so on September 28, 2023, there was a council meeting in which we had to approve the creation of such company and give it an official name. We also had to approve, there were different articles in that deliberation. We also had to approve the participation of the collectivity for it to become a shareholder owning 60% of the shares. The council members had to approve that. We also had to approve the articles of incorporation. Good. So on that day, we give it a name. So to differentiate from the pharma company that went bankrupt, which was Air Antilles, we decided that we're going to create a new company called New Air Antilles, New Air Antilles. Okay? That's the official denomination that we councillors have decided, officially voted on it, sealed, accepted by the prefect, the state. The value of the capital, 2 million euros capital. 60% of 2 million is 1.2. So the collectivity had to put in 1.2, and the other shareholder, 800,000. Those are the 2 millions. We decided as a council, the assembly has decided that each share, the value per share would be €1. So it means 2 million shares, 2 million euros at €1, 2 million shares. Someone, since that day, since September 28, 2023, someone or some persons, we don't know yet, have went behind the councillors' backs and modified the articles of incorporation. They changed the name. They modify it from being New Air Antilles back to Air Antilles. They modify the value of the shares. Instead of €1, they put it to €10. So €10, that means that it's only 200,000 shares, not 2 million anymore. See the modification. They also modified the way that entity would be managed. What we signed for on the council, and by the time, which was on the 38th of October 2023, 5 weeks after we have approved everything, someone or some persons went and registered the articles. They had to be registered, but with a whole different setup. And we found out that 2 years after that, after the registration of that company. So today now, it means that a company that has been created by the council has never been registered. Never. It means that the value per shares that we councillors have decided to give to each share, which was €1, has been changed to €10. So it also means that all deliberations that have been taken since September 28, 2023 are null and void, which include all those deliberations taken to give money to the company. So a total of, I think now it's 18 million point 200,000 went to the wrong company, if you follow me. So today now we have to find out who did that and why.
Is that what he is talking about?
He is saying, because now I explain that to say that we have said to the media that whoever has done those kind of things is or are exposed to this. These could be the punishment. We said could. But we haven't said that the president has done it.
But isn't he the head of the board, or he's not chair of?
Yeah, he has become the president of the board of directors, which is president of, normally it should be New ART, but we understand today's ART, which is the wrong company. He is today president since maybe 6-7 months ago. The former president has resigned, and there are only 5 members on the board of directors, 3 from the collectivity and 2 from the other company. And I don't know what process they use, what procedure they went through to say, okay, it's going to be you, President Mussington, who is president of the collectivity and president of ART. But he has just decided that I'm going to take these 6 councillors to court because they are blaming me for this and for that, which is not true.
Yeah, for defamation, you're defaming.
Yeah. But he's not realizing that he is the one that doing defamation.
So to put it simply, if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that the territorial council agreed on the forming of this company to be able to take over Antilles, and then right after things change without any further input of the council.
Any change, whether it's minor, major, whatever change that would have to happen, would have to come back to the council for us to vote on it, for us to agree, and then you go again.
Forward.
All these changes made, registered, this company with a name that we never give it, and after 2 years, we found out that, oh, wait a minute.
Something is wrong.
Yeah. That's
but you didn't, as far as you're saying, no one was labeled to be the person who actually did this.
You have the press release. Read it. Yeah. Read that part there, if you have it there. It says could. Read it. And we're saying without prejudice, which is saying, hey, we're not judging, we're not saying we don't know who it is. Yet he's saying that we said it's him.
So don't you welcome then for this case to be settled in court?
Of course, we welcome it. I mean, I hope that someone of his councillors would tell him he's making a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Because by accusing us publicly, he is doing defamation because he's wrongly accusing us.
Yeah.
Anybody that would read it would say, wait a minute, there's no defamation. And I'm telling you, that at no given time, we have mentioned his name, or if not his name, the president, or we have accused anyone. So this is what could happen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
For the sake of time, so what happened to the airline now? It's
good. The airline would have a problem, or does have a problem, a legal problem as far as the legality of its existence, because here you have a company that's so said running the airline, or the airline is being run based on the existence of a company it's not the company that we said, okay, the collectivity is participating as a shareholder of a company for which we have never given it authorization to. So it's a terrible situation. Now, that's enough. Oh, the license to fly was delivered to the wrong company. So the body that delivers, which is the head of the civil aviation, they now, because they got this release, they know about it, and they themselves are saying, wait a minute, we have a problem. So the planes, the aircrafts are not grounded because of that revelation, but eventually, even if they have not been grounded for that, and if they haven't been grounded for that, they would have been grounded eventually for the legality of what has been revealed. You see, for what the president is saying, which, I mean, he's also the president, as I said, of the airline, of the board of directors. He is saying that it is not about the aircrafts themselves, because the body, the civil aviation, is saying it's a security issue. He's saying it's not the aircrafts, it's more paperwork, that certain, there are some procedures that had to be done, and certain documents were not given to them, or whatever, but it's paperwork. So because of that, they have grounded the aircrafts for 1 month, which is from the 9th of December to the 9th of January. However, without that happening, the civil aviation did already give to the airline up to January 31st to improve its financial situation. And if they didn't, by January 31st, the license would have been taken away from them and the aircrafts grounded. So it's a kind of early decision. They did not wait until January 31st. They pulled it from December 9th. Now, according to my analysis and my common sense is telling me there's no way this airline can come back just like that. Why? Because they were already having huge financial problems.
Yes.
The fact that the aircrafts are grounded, there's no revenue. There's a revelation from them, from the airline, an official revelation saying that there were 5,500 tickets issued, which was taking them up to January 31st. And now those persons that have bought new tickets have to be reimbursed. So the little treasury that they have is not even sufficient to reimburse. So financially, for them to come back from what's happening to them now is going to be extremely difficult. It's going to take some careless investor to go in and pump like 35 million. That's what they need right now. 35 million euros to get them at least afloat. Not to be secure, but at least they can breathe and say, okay, here we go. We can operate safely for a while.
Yeah.
And I can't see that happening.
So what's going to happen to the route that the Antilles usually take care of between here, Guadeloupe, and wherever else they travel? That is finished? Anyone wanting to travel to this destination?
No. Remember, there are two companies. You got the Air Antilles and you have the Air Caraïbe.
Okay.
Air Caraïbe, right? And so what Air Caraïbe has done, they have set up more flights.
Okay.
They have even, I think, brought in 2 more aircrafts. So they are full in the void.
Yeah.
Of course, they're happy.
Yeah, because
they're making
business.
more money.
Yeah.
We are hoping that will not increase the cost of the tickets.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, before even this happened, there's a certain gentleman that did own Air Caraïbe before it went bankrupt, who is coming back on the scene. He has just created a new airline with some aircrafts. I don't know when he'll get the authorization or the certificate to fly, but I know he has applied. And once that happens, then there will be another airline.
Yeah.
There's also Air France. Because this is, as you know, this is not the first time they've been grounded. They've been grounded when, back in 2023, August 2023, when the judge declared them bankrupt. They've been grounded for about a year. And Air France introduced a flight from Juliana to Guadeloupe with using an Airbus 320 for a very low cost. And of course, the flight was only 25 minutes compared to 45 minutes, you see.
So who's going to be blamed now for the thing that happened to Air Carib? Who's going to be blamed? Your council agreed to take this company and bless it, but it seems like a bad decision now, and who's to be blamed?
It was always a bad decision. You see, there's confusion about us opposition saying, no, don't take that deal. Don't make that deal. It's not a good one. Back in September 2023, yes, for an airline, yes, we do. There's a need for it, but not that particular deal. It was always bad from the beginning.
Sure.
Why? Just in a few words, it was too expensive. It would have cost, and it has cost, the collectivity a lot of money because of what the court offered them, and they accepted. You see, all you had to do is tell the court, listen, we're taking back these aircrafts, or we're not taking the liabilities.
Okay.
And they accept to take the liabilities, 21.5 million euros. And the company, pharma company, was paying as payments on that debt 200,000 euros per month. Who would take such a deal? And without knowing, and not knowing when you will be able to fly, because the license, once you make the deal, the license was the next stage, and they were told the license can take 6 months to a year. It took them 11 months to get a license. 11 months without revenues, having to pay that amount. And they kind of like made them accept 120 employees from the 300 and something.
Yeah.
So also you had to pay those salaries. Governments, the states step in and pay a percentage, but you still had that other percentage to pay for 11 months. And then, of course, the maintenance of those aircraft, they stayed in the rain and sun for 11 months. They had to send them to Morocco and rebuild them in a few millions again. To tell you that they have the deal, and the deal were 4 aircraft. Up to today, one is so badly damaged that they just forgot about it. It's gone beyond repair. So they only have a Twin Otter and 2 ATRs. And that's what, so you paid for 4 aircraft, but one will never fly. All of that is a loss. So it was a crazy deal. It was not to be touched. Listen, this was a Guadeloupean airline. The government in Guadeloupe say, we're not touching that. If they're not touching it and it's theirs, and they say, no, we're staying far from that, where are you going? Why? But because some people convinced the president, it's a good deal, let's go for it. One of those persons who was telling him that called me a day because he heard me on the radio explaining why it's not good. Back in 2023, he called me. He said, yeah, I heard you, but we got a company that worth 33 million euros, and we only paid 400,000 euros. True. That's what they offer to the court. But in the fine print, was saying that there's a debt of 21.5 million euros. So I asked him, I said, yeah, what about the 21.5 million euros? Did you explain that to the population? He stayed quiet. You see. So the 400,000 euros was to fool them.
That you're getting a good deal.
Yeah.
But the 21 million liability was not mentioned.
Yeah. So today, actually, the collectivity just a few weeks before, a few weeks before the, November 38th, they accepted to give this airline that was already bankrupt to me a loan of 3 million euros. You remember we discussed that?
Yeah.
And we kept telling them, guys, you're in the hole for 17.2 million. This company, you realize it's dead. Why are you going to put in another 3 million? Well, there's a company from Germany.
Yeah.
There's a German investor who has given us a letter of intention to invest 10 million euros, right? So we want to put those 3 million to keep the airline afloat, giving them the time to finish the negotiations. Well, before 2 weeks after, or before 3 weeks after, that German investor was out of there, and there was no potential investor. So, but the good thing is that we haven't lost the 3 million. So far, they got 1 million from that. I hope, because there's a contract signed, that they will not be crazy enough to add those 2 million euros, knowing that now for sure, looking at what's happening, we're going to lose all of that money.
Well, we may not be making a big deal of that here, but even the media in Guadeloupe contacted you, wanted to know what's going on. What are their interests? Because this seems to be a big follow-up.
Yeah, no. The media in Guadeloupe, they are amazed to see that for some 2 years and months, this airline been operating with the wrong company.
Oh,
That's the shock to everybody. How possible? How possible for more than 2 years, here's a company that fly in, that has a license to fly, and it's a wrong company. The real company that we created has never been registered. And that's a problem.
That's really the problem.
And those persons who have done that, first of all, you need to know why they did it. And then they'll face a judge. For sure. They have to. They'll be punished. That you cannot. There's no way you can. It's like.
But it's going to look like it's the responsibility of the government, of the collectivity.
Now, you see what you just said there? If the president, and this will be reminded to him tomorrow in the last council meeting of the year, if he continues not to want to prosecute these people or to find out the truth from them, of course, the buck stops with him. So ultimately, they'll come at him. So he needs to quickly try to see, okay, who did this and why, and go at them. And the council will unite and make sure that we go at these people because
they
it's
did
the
something
population
wrong.
that
Yes.
you have hurt.
Yes.
And in this, Wendell, really, there should be no politics.
Yeah. Exactly.
And this thing about, I'm going to take you to courts, it sounds ridiculous because easily we can say, okay, you're taking us, but what about those people? You're going to just ignore them or do like it never happened? You got a problem.
But don't you think,
have a serious problem
Don't you think he must have known of the change? And was he okay with it, not to bring it back to the council?
I tell you what, the reason why I would think that is because the way he's taking it. Now, the day when I revealed it in the council, he went quiet and he looked shocked and surprised because I know he was telling himself, wow, for 2 years we've been operating, and I could see that in his face. Something was told to him, whether that same day or the other day, just a few days after, he said, I'm going to take these people to court. At the time he meant whoever did this. Days after, he has changed his speech. I'm going to take, when he saw the press release and in the papers, he went from he's going to prosecute whoever to going to prosecute now the opposition. So we have to say, wait a minute, how far he's going to go. And if he continues that direction, we would have to wonder if he's not protecting these people. And why would he now be protecting these people and exposing himself to prosecution?
Yeah.
If it's like that, we don't know. We'll see in the near future what are going to be his actions, because he needs to act to avoid the justice coming at him.
Yeah. So, in your view, at this stage, can you safely say that that's it for Air Antilles? It's finished?
I would say that. As I say, it would take miracles do happen. So I would say, my judgment, my estimation,
unless
for what I know,
knowing
the financial situation. Just imagine that when they came to us on October 6, 2025, requesting 3 million euros loan from the government, we had to approve it. We said no, the opposition. But everything was explained to us, and they at the time they had a debt of in total 35 million point something, and they only had 130,000 euros on their account.
Okay.
And that's a month and a half ago. I don't think that has changed much. So if you had that kind of debt, you didn't get the help that you need. The investors that you were hoping that would give you money, they're gone. Now the aircrafts are gone. Now you have to reimburse money that you probably don't really have in total. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of money, 5,500 tickets. Mm-hmm. I don't think that everybody is going to ask back for their money, because some of them are flying on Air Caribbean. Mm-hmm. They're taking them how they can, and but some of them are saying, we have bought other tickets, now we need to be reimbursed. You have to, you need the money.
Back,
so
yes.
Whatever little money they have, it has to go towards that. So my analysis is going to be extremely hard to see that airline come back and get a license to fly to begin with, because some people say, yeah, but the state is wrong. Why they punishing us? Because no, it's based on your financial situation. They only issue a license based on your financial situation. In order to get a permanent license, we had to come up with 6 million euros upfront from the beginning as a guarantee to the civil aviation. And they would hold that 6 million, issue the permit for a while, and see how things would go. But they got a guarantee of 6 million. It's about money to get a license to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a bad financial situation, you're not going to get that license.
Mm-hmm. So if you get a major injection, maybe they're working on a major investor who might want to come in and buy it over.
Let me tell you, if I was a investor looking at the situation now of Air Antilles, you know what? I would wait for this to come in front of a judge, just like how we got it in front of a judge back in September 2023.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It went bankrupt, and the judge put it on auction.
Okay.
And you'd get a better deal.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Instead of paying 10 million or 20 million, now you end up paying maybe $1 million or 600,000 or whatever.
So, Mr. Charville, as I listen to you, that's it for Air Antilles and
I
the
consider
government
it
of the
to
French
be it.
part?
I mean, I can't see. Again, you must never say never. You don't know who can come up with some,
Mm-hmm.
But it would be extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Extremely difficult for this airline to come back on the scene.
And for the government
as we know it, as we knew it there for the past 2 years. Let's put it that way. It would have to be something else. It would have to be liquidated as it has been back in 2023, and then auction again. And this time for sure, I know I hope we have learned our lessons not to ever go back into something like that again. Yeah. I'm not saying not to create an airline. We can do that, but there are other ways of getting your own airline instead of taking up something with so much of an overhead.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then that was crazy. I mean, before you can make €1, you are already spending millions.
Yeah.
You
have an opportunity to say Merry Christmas to your constituents and the people of the French part of the island.
Yes, it's 1 week.
Time.
1 week before
Christmas is right here.
Before
we just
Christmas,
deal with some not so good news.
I'll just say it plainly. Merry Christmas to all the listeners. Those also on the internet.
Yeah.
Some of them it's already evening.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you, and of course Happy New Year. Well, I think you'll give me the opportunity during the first week, the few weeks in January, to come back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's to everyone.
For now, I'll say Merry Christmas, and of course Merry Christmas to you.
And I want to say Merry Christmas to you too. And I want to thank you, for making yourself available.
You're welcome.
To come and have a chat, especially with what's happening in our backyard, which is right next door. And it's one island anyway, and that. Whatever happens there is of concern to us here, and likewise what happens over here is concern to you there. So I know this is big story on the French part of the island, but over here, no one seems to pick it up that much.
We are
Exception of the
Siamese
paper.
twins. We say that just like that lightly, but indeed that's what we are.
Yeah.
So
And that's
yeah.
not going to change.
No. But
We-
thank you all also for always giving me the opportunity to express myself
All right.
here to the people.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. And thank you,
You're welcome.
folks, for listening. And we're way past our time. We're 5 minutes over. So we have to go over to the newsroom. We have to say goodbye. And in the meantime, you just take care of yourself. Enjoy what's left of your Thursday. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.